Buddies, yo! What's going on? It's Concert Buddy. Quick video, and I mean quick, pop, 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 to talk about my top 5 records I'm looking to pick up on Record Store Day 2024. What are they? Cue that lever and let's go! Pop. Now, buddies, let's keep it real. I said I'm only going to talk about 5 records in this video. That is true. Odds are I'm probably going to bring more than 5 pieces home with me from the various travels, the various shops I intend to traverse on Record Store Day this year, 2024. But just for this video, I'm going to talk about like the top 5, the 5 pieces that I'm really anxious, not even anxious, but just really excited to put my hands on and add to my collection. The first of which is the reissue. They're calling it a deluxe edition of Parliament. I think it's their first album. It's called Osmium. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. So you're talking about George Clinton. This was like a sister act, a Funkadelic, i.e. Maggot Brain. Actually, this album, 1970, predates Maggot Brain by 3 years. But I've never seen an OG of this record in the wild, and it's probably for good reason because they go for north of a couple $100. I saw an early press or an early repress once, but it was kind of beat up, and I was kind of like, should I get this? Probably should have got it, but I didn't.
Hate it.
I think it was a condition issue. But this is alleged to be a deluxe edition with some bonus materials, some B-sides, the bells and whistles. I can't get any confirmation from the research I tried doing online if this is all analog or not, so I can't speculate. I hope it is, but I think if it was, they probably would have called that out in some of the marketing materials. Regardless, looking forward to adding Parliament Osmium to my collection on Record Store Day.
Yeah.
Next album I'm looking forward to picking up for Record Store Day is a 90s band that I've enjoyed, and I have several other pieces already on vinyl. And that's Collective Soul, the Rolling Brothers, and this is their 1999 album Dosage. It's the first time it's been on vinyl. I think Craft Recordings is behind this one. They've been behind some of the other Collective Soul reissues of late on vinyl. This is the 25th anniversary edition. Happy, or I shouldn't say happy, looking forward to inevitably pulling this into the collection. Signature songs on this one, if you remember from radio, rock radio, alt radio from back then, Run was one, and Heavy was probably the other album. I think Heavy might have even been the lead single off the album, if I remember correctly, but I really enjoy their work. I saw them in concert before. Rolling Brothers are legit, and slowly but surely the whole back catalog is now finally, I wouldn't say widely available, it's been strategically released, I think almost in coinciding with Record Store Day, either Black Friday or the spring version coming up. So I'm looking forward to adding this one. Bringing more of that 90s. Bring it home, Daddy. Bring it home.
You know, I think we kind of went into the game too, like a So
staying in that 90s lane, the next one of this 5 albums I'm looking forward to bringing in for Record Store Day 2024 is a compilation album from the band Filter. And I'm not a big comp person to begin with, like greatest hits and stuff. Like I'll get it where I want to get it, but as I've tried to expand the scope, the reach of my collection, I've tried to get like full albums, and once in a while bring in a comp or a greatest hits. This one has never been on vinyl before. Talked about it before at the Collective Soul release. Craft Recordings leaning into these 90s, early 2000s releases. And quite honestly, Filter is probably known. This is probably the best way to consume Filter. I hate to say it, but you get all the best songs this way. You get Hey Man, Nice Shot. You get Take a Picture. I'm trying to think, Trip Like I Do. So you get what you want, especially what you remember of the band. So really looking forward to adding this. I think it comes on some kind of like gray swirl, yada yada marble. But eager to see how this turns out and how this translates to vinyl, considering it was probably come from a digital source. Again, no information if this is from the tapes, but my guess is based on the time it was recorded and released, probably digital, that they are now putting on vinyl. So we'll see how it goes. Filter, comp, ready for you, Daddy.
3 words for you: treat yourself.
So the next title is actually a record I already have on vinyl. It is by a kind of side project of the late Chester Bennington of Linkin Park. that he did. It was kind of a group put together. It's about 2009, called Dead by Sunrise. This title is called Out of Ashes. Now, I already have, when it came out on vinyl, it was only released once on vinyl. I think it was like a European release. I do have a copy of that, but this is the first US issue, US distributed title from this band. I don't know if they did any other recordings. This might have been like a one-off, because like, I guess in the late 2000s, Chester did something with these guys. He did an EP with Stone Temple Pilots, so he was kind of making the rounds, I guess, diversifying, you know, I would say a voice for hire kind of thing, but just kind of, you know, doing more than Linkin Park. And this is, you know, it's kind of what you would think. It's kind of like that alt metal, you know, kind of rock formula, a lot of screaming, heavy guitars. I think some of the guys in the band came from the group Orgy. Remember them? They had that, I think it was that album, Candy Ass. I think they did, I think it was a cover song. It was like their big hit off by that. But anyway, kind of interested to hear how they kind of went about putting this on vinyl, if it's going to be any different than the European release I have. But this is one I think is going to be like a limited release, and I really doubt that they would go about trying to do like a mass release of reissuing this on vinyl again. But I don't know, they've kind of went back and done a lot of Linkin Park back catalog stuff, rarities, that sort of thing before, so maybe in that vein they'll kind of do that again, but we'll see. But anyway, looking forward to getting this one on Record Store Day.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
And rounding out my top 5 is another record I already have. I don't have an original, because originals go for silly Monopoly money, and that is the self-titled Psych Classic. Is it safe to say that? I'm not a psych expert. Tell me in the comments below if I can call it a Psych Classic, and that's from Gandalf, self-titled Gandalf. This is being reissued several times. The copy I have in my collection currently is like a blue reissue. Sounds okay, but this one is coming out in like this kind of like smoky green variant color. But I think what's exciting about it is a couple things. One, Jackpot Records, which is a record store based out of Portland, Oregon, who were kind of sponsoring the Meters reissues. They did Kevin Gray Treatment, yada yada, not too long ago. They're really getting into the reissue game, and so far so good when it comes to that. So they're behind this particular reissue, and they also got like a guy from the band also involved. This one's being advertised as being like an analog, direct analog process. So hopefully, short of spending, you know, I think an original Gandalf record goes for like 300 plus, maybe more. Short of doing that kind of significant investment, this is going to be a nice solution. Now, the only thing is, and this is why I was a little reluctant of putting this out there, is they're only running 1,500 of these. So this one could be probably, of the records I've talked about so far on this list, this one could be probably the toughest one to chase down, just because if you think about it, I hate to do the math, I'm not a mathematician, bebop boobop.
Well, you do the math, I'm doing the Alfredo.
But, you know, there's 1,500, I believe, independent record stores out there, and that number may have grown since the last time I heard that number quoted. Essentially, that means each store is getting one title. So this one could be probably, like I said, out of the things I've talked about already, this one's probably going to be the one I'm going to have to work for. Does that mean I get up like super early to get it? I don't know. I don't know if I'm that in love with it since I already have a copy, but you know, Record Store Day can do some silly things, especially leading up to it, and you don't want to miss out. And so you may camp overnight and wait for a Rocho Man record.
Those are facts, man, yeah!
Crazier things have happened, let's just put it that way, folks. But I'm really looking forward, if I can get one, to getting this Gandalf self-titled into the collection.
Come get some.
Buddies, that's it. There's probably, like I said, I have a strong suspicion that there will be additional records brought into the collection on Record Store Day, but these were the 5 titles that really stuck out to me as I started really kind of doubling down on the list and really doing like a cost-benefit analysis, that sort of stuff, right? But I'm very curious. Tell me in the comments below, what are the hot titles in your estimation that you're looking forward to picking up this Record Store Day 2024? Am I missing something that's going to be a sneaky gem that, you know, you don't want to miss it now and then try to get it on the back end and pay that dummy tax that I talk about?
Buy now or cry later.
Because, as we like to say, it's not cheaper to keep her, but it's cheaper to, you know, buy on a whim and then get rid of it later than paying that miss out tax, as I like to call it. But buddies, tell me in the comments below what you think. Appreciate you spending your time here on this video, and I wish you the best vinyl luck good vinyl luck, great vinyl luck going into Record Store Day 2024. Hopefully get good weather. Hopefully it's a good time. And hopefully you get to bump elbows and dig in the bins with some fellow like-minded vinyl collectors. But until then, listen to your music, listen to your records, buddies. That's what I'm really doing this year. Believe it or not, listen to my records. Can't believe it. But when you get the chance, just spin it. See you soon.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
Well, we out of time.